Hi folks, thank you for joining me on another video here on Danny's Corner. My name is Danny, and today I want to talk about what is growing in the spirit. I was thinking about this subject for weeks when somebody suggested that I talk about this. And a lot of times it's hard to talk about a lot of things. I was saying this um, in this morning's episode with my Spanish audience, as I also post videos there. It's hard to talk about some of these things because, as a blind person, I need to come up with some example, something that you guys can relate this to. If I was a sighted person, it would be much easier to talk about a lot of things because I would make a reference and you guys would understand it. I would give an analogy, and that would be that. But as a blind person, it's hard as a totally blind person because there's a lot of things I don't understand. There's a lot of things that I don't know how to explain. I have lived through them, but I don't know how to convey the message to you, just like you may not know how to convey a message to a blind person. For example, if I were to ask, what are stars, the moon, what is the sky, what is the sun, whatever you guys give me, whatever explanation you guys give me, it's not going to be enough. And no matter how many times I hear it, the info, it's just not going to go through. And it's because of my blindness. Um, a lot of these things that are out there are, for sighted folks. There's just no way for me to understand this unless I see it one day. And so, whenever I use examples, um, please be patient because it's not easy. I'm trying to work here to bring you something that you may understand. And a lot of you are not going to live or have not lived the same experiences that I have lived through. And so it's going to be something foreign to you. It's going to be a new concept to you. And so a lot of times, what people tend to do is criticize what they don't know, something that they don't know about. And so please keep an open mind with these videos that I'm making about the spirit and church and other things like that, as well as politics or anything else. All of my videos are meant to educate, are meant to bring you toward awareness, make you think for a bit. I'm not trying to have some sort of I'm right, you're wrong. No, it's just an opinion. An opinion that you may not like, but it's an opinion after all, done by a blind person. And how many channels do you know that you're going to get an opinion about a various subjects from a blind perspective? So that's that. With that intro, let me get to the topic. So, what is cultivation or growing in the spirit? It's that. It's knowing that you, um, given the situation that you are, you're going to learn, or you have learned, how to just, um, here I go, thinking of some word to use. You learn how to just say it is what it is. I don't understand it, but I will accept it. And this is what's happening to me. I think a lot of sighted folks, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. You know, I don't believe mm, that I have the truth about anything. I'm just giving my opinion. But I think a lot of people are seeking validation from science or spirituality. It's one of those two. And the thing is that both of these things are not going to give you the 100% certainty that something is true or not. So if you're just pro science and against religion or against spirituality, there are going to be some unanswered questions. Just as with spirituality, like there are going to be some unanswered questions. As a blind person, there are going to be some unanswered questions, and to you, science may be the way to go if you're sighted, but if you're blind, you can't rely on that. So what are you going to rely on? And to me, I have learned as a blind person that I may know a little bit about science, I may know a little bit about spirituality, but if I don't get the answer to my questions, one of the pressing questions that I have, then it's just not meant to be. I just have to live with knowing that the answer is not there yet. I don't know. And that's it. I'm comfortable with that. It's not a thing that if I don't know this immediately, I'm going to disappear or whatnot. It's not a top priority. A lot of people debate about the Bible, and they go on and on trying to prove if the Bible is right or wrong. And to me, that's pointless, because they're trying to prove the existence or the lack thereof of the things that are said in the Bible. But let's say if they were proven right, what is that going to do? It's not going to do absolutely nothing. You're going to believe because you have seen something. And so that's not spiritual maturity. That's just you saw something and you believed it. Spiritual maturity is when you're told something and you have, investigated, you can't find the answer, and you have let that go. You say, okay, it's a mystery, and that's what I'm going to keep it as. But it's pointless. Once again, I'm repeating, to go and prove something that will not be able to be scientifically proven. I don't know if I'm getting the point across. It's like science trying to find a way to prove the existence of the sun, finding a way to prove it to a blind person, a totally blind person. It's going to be impossible. Stop wasting your time. How do we know that we're spiritually mature? Another example that I have is the pandemic. A lot of people were complaining a lot. They didn't want to be inside. They couldn't see themselves wearing a mask. A lot of them protested, how dare you take my rights away, and this and that. It's all about me, 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 me. What about me? However, they didn't stop and think that there were people out there who have lived for years under extreme circumstances, things that you cannot understand. For example, people who can't go out of their house because they're morbidly obese. People who have multiple sclerosis, who are not able to dress themselves, who are in a wheelchair, who can't do certain things. I've talked about the experience that one of my friends had, which was as a wheelchair user with CP, he was only able to use his feet and able to type things. And so he didn't wear any shoes for that reason. So one day he went to a restaurant, and the restaurant decided to say, "We're not going to serve you," and didn't even open the door. And what are you going to do about that? How can you tell a restaurant, "You need to serve me"? If they don't want to serve you, they don't want to serve you. They have the right to refuse service to you. Well, it's okay in that situation, but let's say somebody doesn't want to wear a mask. Well, how dare you? You see, as a person with a disability, we don't have an option to say, "I'm just going to another restaurant and let's see if they will treat me a little bit better. I'll just go to another doctor and see if they'll treat me better." Because perhaps the other place is going to be more of the same. This is why I like making these videos, because I talk about all of these things. Let me stop this video here, just because I don't want these videos to get too long, but I will continue with this growing in the spirit and things like that. This is an interesting topic, and I'll come back to it. Thank you very much. If you have enjoyed this video, please give a like, consider subscribing, leaving your comment, suggestion, any future videos that you would like me to do. It's going to take me some time, but I will do my best and try to get to those. And again, thank you. I am almost at the 100 subscriber mark, and I am pleased. So yeah, thank you very much. Talk to you next time.